Anthony Hartwig here with another Boardman softball player profile. We're joined by another one of their seniors, and Maddie Dravecky. Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
Maddie, I was talking to you before we went live. I mean, you've been here before, you've done these interviews before. Last year, we talked to you as you were a junior. And one of the things we talked to you about is last year's 10 seniors and learning from them and being able to kind of take in all the leadership you could last year. Now it's your turn. You are a senior. How have you kind of been leading this team? How has the leadership been compared to what you expected it to be last year?
I've always kind of been a leader. I think it's really important to build connections with your players and your teammates, just so that there's a bond on the team. Because, in my opinion, I mean, this obviously isn't a one player sport, it's a team sport. So, having a connection with your players and your teammates, I think that's the most important part of being a leader.
With the a multitude of players that graduated last year, you've had a lot of new varsity players step into new varsity roles. What's it been like since you're talking about building connections with players, building stronger connections with these players that are coming in and building bigger roles in the varsity field? What's that been like for you?
Well, we are a very, very young team, but I don't think it's really affected us in a negative aspect because I've been playing with these girls since like 10 years. So it's nothing really new for me.
What's that been like? I mean, like it seems like all the Boardman players even play with each other at some point in time in the off season, the travel ball scene. So I mean, it's such a tight knit group, not just the high school season, but in the summer. What's that chemistry like for this team?
Um, well, I'm very, very close with my travel team, and a lot of the Boardman high school players play for a travel team called Steel Valley Storm. So I think even having that builds more of a bond with our team, I would say. So I think it's really nice just being able to not just play with them in the spring, but also in the summer.
We talked about last year the energy that you bring to this team and how you're so vocal and you're so high tempo energy. How have you been able to keep that up? Obviously, there are ups and downs for softball. What's the key to keeping your positive energy up and always building this team up like you do so well?
Well, everyone has their slumps. I'm recently getting out of one, and I will say it has been tough trying to have a positive energy, but our coaches like Paige and Fred and Lindsay, they always say that if there's one person down, you're going to bring the whole team down. So, my job, I think, is to just make sure that everyone's having fun and that everyone's staying upbeat. So, I just try and keep a positive attitude, and if something does go wrong, I give myself 5 seconds to calm down, and then I'm all good.
One of the things about this team, like we've said before, they're young, but that means that you get to build new relationships and bigger relationships with people. Who do you think you've gotten to know the most over the course of this season so far? Someone that maybe beforehand you didn't know too well, but now you really know a lot better.
I didn't really have the opportunity to get to know Ava Freeborough that well last year, but I think this year I've gotten very close with her, and especially Tori Strines. I mean, Tori and Maddie, I got to play with them last season, but I think Ava Freeborough, I definitely got to know a little bit better this year.
When you get opportunities like that to build relationship with people outside of the field and the team chemistry and the team bonding exercises, I know you guys do a lot of them. Which one do you think helps you build chemistry the most as far as the team chemistry exercises that this team is able to do?
Um, I think just being able to hang out. We're all very close with each other, and like we both said before, we all play for the same travel teams, the same organizations. So we're not just seeing each other during the school day. We hang out during the weekends and over the summer.
All right, so I got some information from the Twitter, I mean the Facebook page for Boardman softball about you as a senior, and one of the things that caught my eye was you have a nickname that has carried with you throughout most of your life, Peanut.
Yeah.
Do you like this nickname? Is it one that you've kind of grown accustomed to, or is it just one of those ones that you just have to live with?
I mean, my mom and like my family has been calling me Peanut for like ever. It's not a name that like my friends use. A lot of people just call me Maddie Drav, but if people call me Peanut, it doesn't really bother me.
Who do you think has the best nickname on the team? Like, does anyone have that one that is just the best nickname?
Um, Definitely Alex Ward. Her nickname is Baby Bull. It started last summer with our travel team, and it's kinda just stuck, so we call her Baby Bull.
I also want to talk about this deathly fear of raccoons that I'm hearing about because, everyone thinks raccoons are pretty cute when you're looking at them. They look like little robbers, they have the little hands, but not you. Where does this fear of raccoons come from?
So it's kind of an embarrassing story, but when I was, like, really little, there used to be a tree outside my house, and there was a baby raccoon on the ground, and I went over it to, like, pick it up and everything, and the mom, chased me. So that's why I don't like raccoons.
Is it like even like there are some animated raccoons that like do you stay away from raccoons in any way, shape, or form?
It's just, like, when I'm driving on the road and I see a raccoon, I wig out, like, it's a real fear, like, I can't deal with
Even
them.
in the car when you know that like it can't touch you?
Mm-mm, like, seeing their eyes,
No
mm,
way.
I don't like them.
Yeah, everyone's got something. What kind of other things do you think were you scared of as a kid? Maybe some fears that you had that now aren't there anymore. But you look back at your childhood and you go, man, I can't believe I was so afraid of that.
Um, I used to be, like, deathly afraid of spiders, but, like, now they don't really bother me unless it's, like, really big, 'cause that's a different story. But,
So,
yeah, like spiders.
Manny Dravecky, spiders are cool. Raccoons,
No.
no, can't do it. When you think about your future, because you're a senior now, and then everyone looks in their future, and there's that one thing that makes them a little bit nervous about it. What kind of things make you nervous about, the future plans and things that you want to achieve in yourself in the next couple of years?
Um, I think the thing that really does scare me a little bit is just I wanna be able to keep the relationships I have with the people that I have right now. Like, I don't wanna grow apart from everyone because all my friends, and especially my teammates, I don't wanna, not that I would forget them, but I just hope that I can keep the relationship because I think it's really important to have a strong support system as you're growing up, and I hope to keep the relationships I have now.
Have you made a college decision yet on where you want to go next year?
I will be attending YSU.
When you think about that and you think about keeping those relationships, obviously YSU's right down the road. Did that factor into where you wanted to go? You wanted to stay kind of close to home and stay close to the people that you've built such strong relationships with?
I did wanna stay close to home because there was discussion and, like, topics about going south, but I'm a homebody, so I wanna,
In your second year in the winter, you might regret that
yeah,
decision,
I
you
might
know?
regret
"Well,
that.
I should have gone south. I don't know about this." When you think about, what you wanna study and the things you wanna do with your degree at YSU, what kind of career path do you see yourself going into?
As of right now, I'm undecided on what I wanna major in because there's so much to pick from, so I haven't gotten that far yet.
When you think of, like, your dream job, like, even if it was a childhood dream job, what kind of things did you used to say you wanted to be when you grew up?
Um, I had always wanted to be a photographer, and I would love to do something in the sports industry, but I'm just not sure what
Just putting it out there, there's always a chair open at YSN.
yet.
We're always looking for photographers, just putting it out there.
I might have
When you think of, your dad, obviously your dad is a travel coach for that Storm team that you're talking about, and you've built a great coach-dad relationship like a lot of softball players do. What's that dynamic like with him being able to be coached by him in the summer and to be able to have him along with your journey in softball?
He's always been my biggest supporter. He's been coaching me since I was, I don't know how little, but I think it's really nice because even on the games that I am not doing my best, I've always said that my dad and Gary Jones, our other travel coach, are very good coaches because they have like a constructive criticism type of coaching way. It's also like Fred. Like I just think that having all of them by my side is very, very nice and supportive, and it makes me happy.
I like that you compared it to Fred because the next question was a perfect segue. You go from being coached by Moots to being coached by your dad from spring to summer. So, what are some of the similarities between the two? And then, what are some of the ways that their coaching styles are different?
They actually coach very, very similar. They both want to win. They both have very, very close connections with their girls, and I couldn't be more happy with my coaching, with my coaches
Let's
during the
talk a little.
season
Oh,
and school.
let's talk a little bit more about Coach Moots and what it's been like to be under him for 4 years and this staff that he's put together at Boardman. What does it mean to you to call them coaches and to be able to be in their program?
Having Coach Fred as a head coach is definitely very interesting. He's super, super funny. And I do think that the relationship he's built with this team is important because there are other teams who don't have that close of a bond with their head coaches. But Fred makes it a big goal to have a relationship with his players. So, and especially Paige Dill, she also has a big role in our softball team. She's always there calming us down and getting us pumped up for games. And same with Lindsay. I think we have a very good coaching staff.
We get to see Coach Moots, on the sidelines of YSN. We don't get to see him every day like you do in practice and
Yeah.
off the games. What do you think is something about Coach Moots that maybe the fans don't know that you think like, hey, you got to know about this guy?
Well, yesterday during practice, we were listening to Taylor Swift, and the one flaw that Fred has is that he was not singing along with us.
He was not. He
No,
does
he was
not
not.
sing. He always complains about your music too.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Boardman, he's always complaining about the music. So I don't think he likes the style that you guys have. It's
I don't know. I
whatever.
don't know his music tastes. I'll have to ask him.
We'll find something to get Fred Moots to sing along to one of these days. What about some things that in softball playing in this conference, AAC, you see a lot of really good pitchers and a lot of really good talent just in your conference alone. What's it like as a hitter going up against all these different players, and what do you think that how do you think that prepares you for what you're going to see come tournament time?
Um, we have a very, very tough schedule this season with playing Fitch in our conference. We played Paynesville, and I just think it's important to play tougher teams to get us ready for the conference, to have us mentally and physically prepared. Because it is a 7 inning game, and that's long, and some people aren't cut out for it. But I think playing the tougher teams definitely does help us in the long run.
Caveat to that tough schedule is obviously you're not going to go undefeated. There are going to be ups and downs. Softball is built to make you fail. How have you stayed confident through it all? I mean, obviously there are ups and downs to this season. There's ups and downs to every season. How do you stay confident through it?
I definitely did go through a rough patch. Just these past couple of games, I wasn't doing my best. And I reached out to some of my coaches, like Paige, and she helped me calm down and just made it apparent that this is just a sport. There's going to be another game, and we are early in the season. So just remembering that there's going to be other games is what's keeping me calm.
When you're talking about those moments and those times when you need to be calmed down, obviously you talked about your coaches. Who are some other people that you can go to for advice or role models that you would say that you have in those kind of times when you need lifted up?
I'm always texting my teammates from my travel season and the summer season. I'm always texting them. I've texted girls from Boardman who are no longer here anymore, like Kat and Jenna Alexa, Dana Haas. I always keep in contact with the Boardman graduates who played softball.
When we talk to people next year and we ask them the same question we asked you about last year's seniors, what it was like to be a teammate with them and what kind of things they learned from being their teammate. What do you hope their answer is about you when we ask them next year what was like being a teammate with Maddie Dravecky and what did Maddie Dravecky teach you?
I hope that my teammates say I'm a good teammate because I do love all of them. And I try my best to keep everyone motivated and make sure that we're all having fun. So I would hope that they would say that I was a good teammate.
I'm gonna put you on the spot because obviously you love all your teammates, but if you had to pick one that you think is gonna fit your role next year, as far as the energy goes and the upbeat mindset that you bring to the team, who do you think is the one person that you're really confident in that when you're gone, they're gonna fill that role on the team next year?
That's really hard. I think it would probably be there's 2 girls that I have in mind who don't have the same qualities, but, like, but if they both were to lead together, I think that it would be very good. Alex Ward has one of the loudest mouths I've ever heard. She's just like me, always talking, chirping, and Maddie Weimer is just so upbeat and fun that I think those 2 would be very good leaders next year.
All right, so you are going to eventually have your last game, and senior years brings a lot of last. So my final question before we get you out of here: how have you been handling the emotions of senior year? That all the last that senior year brings, the last home game. I know you're having senior night. What are some of the emotions going through your head as you deal with all these lasts that senior year is inevitably bringing you?
It is pretty sad because I have been playing this sport for a little over 10 years, and just knowing that it is coming to an end does make me sad, but I just like to remember that I did have a good journey with my softball career, and I still have a summer, so it's not completely over, but
All right, Maddie, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to shout out your support system, all the people that are kind of there for you, and all the people that you wouldn't be where you are without. So shout out whoever you want to give a limelight to.
definitely my family. They've been supporting me since day one. Rain or sunshine, they're always on. They're always in left field, right where I am. Whether I want them to be there or not, but they're always there.
Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time. We love covering you. We'll continue to the rest of your senior year, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.